Shalom, my friends. Today is a special program because I want to talk to you about International Holocaust Memorial Day, which is every year on January 27th. And this year, more than ever, the silenced 6 million are crying out. So let's talk about this event that takes place once a year. Now, when someone cannot defend themselves, they count on others to come to the rescue. And when it comes to the Holocaust, the others are you and me. As it turns out, the silenced 6 million are counting on us, never to be forgotten. They need us. International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Now, it is different from Yom HaShoah, or the Day of the Catastrophe, which falls annually a week after Passover in Israel, and that started in 1953. International Holocaust Remembrance Day started in 2005, and since 2005, each year on January 27th, the international community remembers the Holocaust in various ways, from synagogue services to vigils to educational events that include Holocaust survivors or scholars whenever possible. Yet, survivors are dwindling to a few thousand globally, probably even less than that now. Considering that anybody born at the onset of the war in 1939 would be 84 years old today. Most survivors of the Holocaust are in their 90s. Soon, they will be all in our memories. Or will they? Hey, by the way, if you appreciate the videos, if you learn from them, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you will get the notifications and give us the thumbs up. Thank you. So, one thing that really bothers me that I noticed recently is some clueless teenagers on TikTok have been pretending that they took part of the Holocaust. These teenagers put makeup on their faces to look emaciated and write pretend captions like, "I died in the Holocaust," and receive comments from other people like, "I myself have been gassed over 6 million times." This is all happening on TikTok recently. This is outrageous. These young people are belittling the worst carnage against the Jewish people in the history of mankind. They think it is funny, and their followers do too. They are clueless. And this is not even considering all the other social networks getting away with posts about the Holocaust, going from ridiculing the whole thing to denying it. This is very serious, friends. The way I see it, the danger is threefold. First, we have a disappearing pool of people, a group of first-hand witnesses of the horrors of the Holocaust. In another 5 years, probably, they might all be gone, since the survivors are almost all in their 90s today. Second, we have an uneducated and offensive younger generation who is mocking the Holocaust and its victims online or in person. Finally, we have a growing number of people who minimize, alter, or even deny the catastrophe. As the survivors disappear and the new generation mocks the tragedy, it will only encourage those who choose to deny the Holocaust ever happened, and it will go even further. And this just breaks my heart. As the international community commemorates the Holocaust on January 27th every year, I'm glad to see that this year some efforts are still being made never to forget. The museum in Jerusalem, the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem, is inaugurating it's what they call their Book of Names at an exhibit on January 27th at the United Nations headquarters in New York. The Book of Names contains 4.8 million of the 6 million names of the Holocaust victims. One of them is my grandfather, Morris Weinzweig. So what else can we do as people of goodwill and Bible believers? Well, one thing you can do is listen to a Holocaust survivor if you can find one. It's a very effective way to learn about the event from a first-hand witness. The challenge, of course, is that in 2023, their number is exponentially reducing by virtue of their age, as I already said. If you know one or are invited to hear one, I think you should take advantage of that opportunity and go. Additionally, the staff at Shadows of Shoah brings many testimonies from survivors on video, and by that medium renders their unique stories eternal. Also, the Steven Spielberg Shoah Foundation also has over 50,000, more than that actually, video testimonies of survivors, including my own father, George Melnick. I'll put all the links in the description for you to get to all those sites. Another thing you can do if you have the opportunity is visit a death camp. In November 2010, I traveled to Krakow, Poland, and went to see Auschwitz-Birkenau, where my maternal grandfather, Maurice Wansweig, was taken by the Gestapo from Paris in the summer of 1942. I am set to visit again in the summer of 2023. The death camps are some eerie monuments left over from one of the darkest periods of mankind's history. If possible, everybody, and most definitely every Christian, should walk through one of them once in their lifetime. Another thing you can do is visit a Holocaust Memorial Museum. The most extensive and most elaborate one is Yad Vashem, located in Jerusalem. I make a point of taking the people there each time I lead a tour to Israel. It's critical that we go there. It's a must. It's a difficult visit punctuated by a visual and audio markers that will undoubtedly have an impression on you for the rest of your life. There are other Holocaust memorials, several in the United States, and again the link will be in the description. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C., and the Simon Wiesenthal Center and Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles are just two of them. The list is much longer and warrants several different visits, if at all possible. Read an account of the Holocaust is the next thing. There is a tremendous collection of Holocaust literature in many languages, from survivors' accounts to biographies, historical accounts, and even poems. Every human being, in my opinion, every human being should read the short but life-altering account of Elie Wiesel's time in Auschwitz-Birkenau with his father when he was only 15, as told in his autobiography, Night. His story of resilience and survival against all odds is very dark, very, very powerful. A must-read. A detailed and accurate account of the Holocaust can be found in Lucy Dawidowitz's The War Against the Jews, or The Destruction of the European Jews by Raoul Hilberg. A more recent book and more detail is A Lethal Obsession by Robert Wistrich. Friends, the silent 6 million are indeed crying out. It is heart-wrenching even to think their memory could disappear from history. To bring a little perspective to the 6 million and to understand that they are much more than just a number. Even though the tattooed forearm was an attempt at dehumanizing the victims. Listen to this. If we were to recite all the names of the 6 million innocent victims of the Holocaust, it would take us 11 and a half years, non-stop, day and night. Wow. Please tell your loved ones, especially the younger generation, about the Holocaust. Don't wait for schools or museums to do your jobs. We owe it to the silent 6 million, so let's not be indifferent. I want to finish with a quote by Elie Wiesel, and I quote, "The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. The opposite of art is not ugliness, it's indifference. The opposite of faith is not heresy, it's indifference. And the opposite of life is not death, it's indifference." Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and tell your friends. Shalom, and be blessed.